Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I am so excited to see you. We are on day 5 of our 75K challenge. If you don't know what that is, you can go a few videos back where we started the challenge. We're basically doing 1,000 affirmations a day for 75 days. So anyway, I got a comment asking for me to talk about manifesting physical appearance changes, and they were basically saying that they were having like a little bit of a hard time because it like doesn't necessarily seem logical. So I'm just going to kind of give my 2 cents. Remember, with manifesting anything, whatever it is you want to manifest, no matter how big or small, it's always the same process. You need to saturate the heck out of your brain until your subconscious is like, oh my gosh, she's saying this shit so much, it must be true. That's all you're doing. You're literally just saturating, you're literally just repeating to your subconscious the same shit over and over. That's how any method works. You want to visualize, you're visualizing the same thing over and over until your subconscious is like, okay. If you're affirming, you're doing the same thing. If you're scripting, you're doing the same thing. Whatever it is, even a vision board, if you're going and looking at the vision board every day and saying, this is my life now, you are just repeating the same thing every single day. So with manifesting physical appearance changes, you're going to go into it the same way. I personally always like to teach affirmations because you can do it 24/7, and it helps you to be aware of what you are mentally thinking about at all times. Because if you are doing one visualization session a day, but the rest of the day you're thinking about how, I'll say my nose because I don't really love my nose. If I'm sitting there thinking all day how big and lumpy my nose is, but then I'm doing one visualization session a day where I'm like, nope, I got a cute little button nose, you're more dominantly thinking about that my nose is lumpy and humpy. So that is why I like affirming, because you can do it all day, basically, whenever you have free time to think, and it makes you aware of your thoughts. So if you were sitting there and you were thinking, my nose doesn't look good right now, you can immediately check yourself and say, no, that's not true. That was the old reality. This is what it looks like now. Now, the big thing with the comment that I saw is that she was saying that, or I assume she, is that she's saying that, I just lost my train of thought, that it was hard because like you're looking in the mirror every day. And I just want to say, you don't have to be logical with manifestation. Like, I can tell you, I've been doing these, I've been listening to these glow up subliminals I've been telling you about. I lost a shit ton of weight super fast. I lost like, I always forget, 50, 60, 60-ish pounds in like 6 months, okay? That was crazy for me. Maybe it was less. I don't know. Okay, somewhere around, I lost a lot of weight really quickly, and I feel fine and everything. I'm not sick. It was like on purpose. That's not something that 6 months ago I thought was normal. I did not think that was possible. I thought it was going to take me over a year to lose that weight. So you don't have to be logistical. And I'll also tell you, just from my personal life, I genuinely do not love my nose. I really don't. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care enough to like affirm about it, but it's like one of those things I don't love. I have been approved for nose surgery because I have a deviated septum multiple times, and I'm going next month, at the beginning of next month, to once again try to get approved for this surgery, but I actually am gonna go through with it this time. So I am going to change the appearance of my nose. Now, will this hump be done? I don't know, but I do know that I am getting this fixed, okay? That is an instant change, okay? So if let's just say I had been affirming for it. Let's say I was affirming that I like that I had a new nose, that would be a solution to it that isn't like crazy. Like, I think sometimes a lot of times with manifestation, people think it has to be this magical creation that's happening when it doesn't, okay? It can be something that is logical, okay? Me affirming that I have a new nose and then finding out I can get approved for a nose job, that's very logical. That is not this crazy, my nose changed overnight just from magic. It's nothing like that, you know? Or maybe like, I don't know, like things like that can happen. Maybe, I think in hers, she was saying thicker hair. There are products on the market now that can make your hair thicker. I've heard, what is it, pumpkin seed oil or something like that. Maybe you start affirming that you have thicker hair and you don't know it, but you got a shampoo that has pumpkin oil in it, so it makes your hair thicker. It doesn't have to be these mystical solutions. Your brain is going to pump out something that makes sense to you. Y'all following that with that? Like, nothing has to be mystical, okay? It's the same way like when people start manifesting money and they're like, the only way is like one of my rich relatives that I've never heard of dies or I win the lottery. That's the only way I'm gonna get $1 million right now. That's not the only way that people have gotten money. And it's probably not the most logical way in your reality. So things don't have to fall from the sky. Can they fall from the sky? Yes, but if you want to make a physical appearance change, you don't need it to be illogical. You really don't. You sit there and you look in the mirror and you tell yourself what you want to see. You can stare at yourself and say, nope, I have a cute button nose, I have a cute button nose, and you don't have to worry about where that button nose is going to come from. That's not your job. Your job is to stick with whatever you say, and even when you are seeing the opposite, you keep telling yourself the same thing. Maybe don't look at yourself in the mirror as much if that's what is causing you to like kind of screw up. Like, but nothing has to fall from the sky. So I don't want you to be like, I don't know how this is going to happen. Like, how am I going to just wake up with my hair thicker one day? You don't need to think about that. That's not your job to think of. That's not your job to figure out. Who knows? Maybe you just get sent like free extensions or something like that, and somebody installs these extensions that you fall in love with. Your hair looks thicker literally the next day, and that's that, you know? Like, it doesn't have to be these crazy things. And I know, like, most likely if you're actually affirming for like thicker hair, you want it to be your actual hair, but I'm just saying, don't worry about where it's going to come from, how it's logically going to happen, because none of it's logical. Nothing is going to be logical, but to you in your reality, it's going to make sense to you. Okay? You can go on so many manifestation forums, success stories, where people are sharing their success stories and people are like, well, that would have happened anyway. And most likely, whatever you are manifesting, people are going to say that about you. They're going to say, oh, like, that would have happened anyway, because it's going to make sense in your reality. It is very rare that it falls from the sky. It makes sense, okay? I feel like I rambled a little bit and I went off tangent a little bit. So let me just recap anything I feel like I didn't cover long enough. The way that you are going to manifest a physical appearance change is the same as anything else. You are going to decide what it is you want and you are going to stick with it. Any thoughts that disagree with that, even if you are actually looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing that there is not a change, you are still going to stick with the new story, okay? Next, like, it doesn't have to be logical. You don't need it to be logical, and you don't even need to think of how it's going to come in. That's not your job. Your job is to stick to the news story, not to think anything through. And then the last thing is, if you are having a hard time with like seeing, maybe I think you said something about weight loss, looking and seeing that you're not maybe the weight that you want to be, trying on clothes and feeling like, you know, it's not the right weight or whatever, you just have to stick to the story. So even when you're putting on those pants and they feel a little tight, you're gonna say, oops, I must have gotten a size too small because now I weigh 130 pounds or whatever. Like, whatever it is, if you start to have a wavering thought, you correct it, okay? And I think that's it. I will say anything can happen, and it can happen very, very quickly. You just gotta stick to it, okay? Even weight loss can happen very quickly. Appearance changes can happen very quickly. Money can come into your life very quickly. SPs can come into your life very quickly. You just have to have faith, and you have to stick with the program. All right, hopefully this video was not too off topic. I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, it's fine. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.